Well, good morning. Our guest of the day this morning, we have with us Stefanie Dingbaum from the West Delaware and Keystone AEA. And we're just going to start by Stefanie, having you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
All right, first of all, thanks for having me on today. And like you said, my name is Stefanie Dingbaum. I'm the school social worker at West Delaware. I'm actually with Keystone AEA, contracted at West Delaware full time. So I work primarily with both Lambert Elementary and the middle school. However, I am also a support for the high school if or when they need me.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what you do there at the school.
Absolutely. So I oversee the behavior system at both Lambert and the middle school. In other words, I support teachers and administration with making behavioral decisions. I support teachers if there are students who could benefit from additional social, emotional, or behavioral support. And then I also help teachers develop a plan of action for students who need help getting back on track. I provide counseling for students if that's needed, and I also help train staff in the areas of social, emotional, and behavioral health.
So you look about 10 years ago, a position like yours probably wouldn't even have been in the schools. How have we gotten to this point where your role is seen as so necessary for schools?
Yeah, so a lot of the reason has to do with the needs of the students coming into our schools these days. Many children have experienced events in their lives such as trauma that affects their ability to be successful in school. And teachers aren't necessarily able to address all of the social, emotional, or mental health needs of students. However, social workers have the background and the training to assist and support these students. And along with that, we cannot just be teaching academics alone in our schools. We also need to be teaching soft skills or interpersonal skills such as communication skills, critical thinking skills, emotional intelligence, leadership skills, and so on. It's evident that our students need more, and that actually leads me into the main reason I'm here today, which is to talk about social and emotional learning, or SEL for short.
Okay, what is that?
Social and emotional learning teaches children to recognize and understand their emotions, feel empathy, make decisions, and build and maintain healthy relationships. Social and emotional learning is an integral part of education and human development as well.
Talk a little bit about the connection then between social and emotional learning at West Delaware.
So the Iowa Department of Education developed a framework that consists of 5 areas of skills that will be covered within a full school year. And these skills are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. So the connection is at Lambert in middle school. We have started the implementation process with social and emotional learning, which is an ongoing 2 to 5 year process. And ultimately, our goal is to have these skill areas embedded into our curriculum throughout each and every school day. So the bottom line is this is a well-researched tool that West Delaware, as well as other schools, are using to support their students.
Tell us a little bit about the social emotional learning benefits in the schools.
Yeah, so one thing we want parents and community members to understand is that social and emotional learning is not just a curriculum that we're using, it's more than that. Embedding social and emotional learning into our schools means we're making more connections throughout the day to our emotions, and we're linking our feelings and our values and our thoughts to lessons throughout the day, and we're examining our prejudices and biases on certain topics as well. A large benefit of embedding this into our school days is that it helps to build a positive school culture and climate for both students and staff. But there are so many other benefits as well. The research actually shows that besides having improved social and emotional skills, it also helps to improve behaviors overall. It helps to improve academic outcomes, less conduct problems, and there are even long-term benefits such as better overall management of stress into adulthood, less likely to engage in risky behaviors, and increased graduation rates. So a lot of good stuff comes from using this.
Tell us a little bit about why it's important that our community be made aware of the social and emotional learning.
Well, today is the 2nd annual National Social and Emotional Learning Day, which we felt was the perfect opportunity to share with our community what social and emotional learning is and why it's important to our school district. Successful implementation involves community support, so we want to be involving community members who regularly see and interact with our students, and we want to have consistency with the language used in school as well as out of school. That consistency in shared language or values is what will ultimately contribute to a positive environment both in our schools and in our community.
So for someone to reach out to you, what can you provide them with?
Yeah, parents can contact me if they have concerns regarding their students' mental, emotional, or behavioral health affecting their success in school. So for instance, if a parent believes their child is struggling with a behavior issue, they can absolutely pull me in to brainstorm possible solutions.
And if someone wanted to, how could they get in touch with you?
So parents can contact me by either phone or email. They can call the school and ask to speak with a school social worker, or you can email me at sdingbaum@aea1.k12.ia.us.
And you do have a couple of websites if people like a little more information?
Yep, if people want some more information on social and emotional learning, they can go to selday.org or casel.org as well.
Now, Stephanie, I know we talked about this 10 years ago, a little bit earlier in our interview here, that something like this wouldn't even be in the schools. How did you get interested in doing this kind of thing? And tell us a little bit about what you get out of it as the professional.
Yeah, I've always been the type of person that likes helping other people. As a child, I went through my own parents' divorce, and that affected me in different ways, affected my social, and emotional, and mental health in many ways. And I learned to cope with that through the help of supports growing up. And those supports were integral as a part of my life. And so I just really want to be that support for another student. And it's really personal as well as professional benefits, but it's been really helpful for me. So
very good. Thanks for sharing that with us. Stefanie Dingbaum with us from AEA, also West Delaware social worker, school social worker. Today is SEL Day, Social and Emotional Learning, teaching children to recognize and understand their emotions and that sort of thing. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Our guest of the day segment today brought to you by Bill Thomas, Farm Bureau Financial Services on Mix 94.7 KMCH.